Alrighty then, here we go with the camper project. Big pile of mess at the moment. Got a bunch of stuff from work that I got piled up over here just because transitioning between jobs. So if you watch any of the time-lapse video, I had a time-lapse of the whole heater area right in here. I had the thing mounted up and had a little funky little bracket for it, and it was up high so I could get to the hoses. And then after running it, I realized that exhaust pipe puts out a lot more heat than I thought it was going to put out. You know, reading the instructions, which are literally hilarious. I mean, have a few beers and read this thing, and it's comical what some of these instructions actually say. But you know, I tried to read that as well as I could, and of course it says you're supposed to mount it on the bottom of the floor of whatever cab, you know, whatever vehicle you're putting it in. And I didn't want to do that because I wanted intake air to come from that cabin there, because that's where I'm going to have I'm going to have a cabin in here that's open to the outside to let the air conditioner breathe, and then I'll have an exhaust plenum for the air conditioner. But I was going to have all of this because I'll have propane storage up in here, and you know, probably some butane and other flammables. So I wanted to be able to ventilate. Plus I'll probably have the solar controller in here. I wanted to have ventilation in that compartment. So I was going to get my fresh air intake on the other side, and I had it that way where it was, the hose was coming right in here next to the diesel tank. And like I say, the exhaust pipe was just so hot, and I tried wrapping it with insulation. I tried wrapping it with that exhaust pipe wrap stuff that like you put on motorcycle mufflers and stuff so you don't burn your leg. And that, you know, all that stuff works until the thing runs for a long time, and eventually, you know, it's going to catch up to the same temperature. If it runs long enough, it'll be that temperature. And I mean, I measured it at like 450 degrees, you know, so that just wasn't going to work all that well. So I finally decided to rebuild it, tore it apart. So now this whole box is open to the atmosphere, and the pipe doesn't touch anything. That was the whole thing. It was going through the floor, had a metal plate. It was heating up the metal plate. The caulking was heating up, and probably would have been fine, because I mean, it's not like this thing is going to be running all night long. After I've tested it, I mean, the thing runs, and it's a Vevor. This thing runs so hot, even on the lowest temperature, that no matter how low I could get this thing to run, it won't go low enough to be comfortable when we actually got the cab in. When we got a cab in here, this is all going to be foam, just like this. You know, the pink foam. It's going to be 2 inches of foam over the whole cab, and it's going to be so hot that the thing probably ain't going to need to run for more than a half an hour. Probably a half an hour, probably cook you. Even though the floor, you know, this floor is going to have that like canvas or tent material around it. This floor is going to be a cold zone for sure. Even with that, even if I insulate it or whatever, even no matter how cold it, you know, even if I didn't insulate it, it's going to be so, this thing puts out so much heat that unless down here is like freezing cold, and we had the fan running, you know, the fan to go to suck out some of the heat, I don't see running this thing all night long. I see probably what's going to happen is turn it on for 20 minutes and then put it in shutdown mode, and shutdown takes about 10 minutes, so it's still going to be putting out heat for 10 more minutes, and then probably go to sleep and wake up when it's cold, turn it back on. I just don't see it running, because there's a thermostat sensor thing in there. It doesn't work where it actually shuts off and then starts back up. It doesn't do that. It just keeps running at the lowest setting. So long story short, I wanted to get the exhaust pipe away from touching anything. So this way we're going to have the exhaust pipe down here. I'm still going to use that motorcycle wrap tape stuff, just so if anything touches it, it doesn't instantly burn. but I'm gonna have it just straight go down, and then the air intake, I'm gonna have it come in, sitting in this box right here. So any hot air that's sitting here because of the exhaust pipe, the hot air is gonna get sucked into the intake, causing like a natural circulation. So the exhaust is gonna push air that way, intake's gonna suck air this way, so it should help to keep the chamber a little bit cool, you know, hopefully around ambient outside. That's the hope anyway. But in doing that, I've tried the gray fire caulking stuff, which got really hard and cracked and just started splitting everywhere. So now we did the red stuff on top of that, and then the plate is outside hardening up. So anyways, that's going to be done hopefully today. And then we're working on the drawers right now. That's what I was working on all day yesterday, getting these drawers mounted, getting these side pieces completely fitted and trimmed. And then I've got some holes in the back to allow return air for the air conditioner and for the heater, because the heater has its return air right in there, to allow it to come and pull air from these cabinets. I'm probably going to have a little vent over here or something. I mean, there's going to be a lot of air leakage around the drawers and doors and stuff, but I'm still going to put in probably a couple little vents here and there. So working on that today. Hopefully get the heater in, like I said. Hopefully get the drawers done. Hopefully get this one's permanently glued and screwed. This one is just sitting there, just temped in with some spacers. And then we got to do the face frame, and all this is solid, you know, like 3/4 plywood. But I'll probably do the face frame in the thin, this stuff here, and just do that like that, because that way it's not going to stick out too far. It's not going to stick out too far past the metal, you know, like that. And then I'll have the 1/2x1, or what was that, a 1x2? I don't know, whatever you call it. I have the 1x2s for framing structure for the hinges, hinge points, things like that. Then I'll use some of that same stuff probably to do this front here. And originally I wanted to have kind of a slot down here, because this drawer, this tray is real deep. Well, not real deep, but I wanted to have it open all the way across, and I was going to not have a drawer here. I was going to have it where you could just reach in and grab like walking sticks and things like that. But yeah, I don't think that's going to work. So I'd rather have the other drawer. So this way I squeezed in a third drawer. So we've got, that one's I think 9-inch tall, and then this one's I think 7, and then like a 4. And these are some old dresser drawers the neighbor donated. They're built really well. They've got some dovetail connections in them. Anyways, you know, they're all dovetailed and glued on, like this one here. So I mean, it's not the best quality stuff in the world, but they've actually got plywood sides, and it's all dovetailed, even though this is particle board. The rest of it is all ply. So that should be, and it's a nice oak ply too. It's not a weak little ply. So that's good. That'll be good. And then we got our sink right here. It's gonna go right here. So we got that going for us. So that's where we're at. So gotta find my coffee, and then gonna get back at it today. And I probably won't do another time lapse. I just don't feel like doing it right now. Done a lot of time lapses, and I always feel like somebody's watching me. It kind of gives me the creeps. So I don't think I'll be doing a time lapse again for a while. But this is where we're at today. So, oh, I guess I might as well. This is going to be a storage compartment, and right where this is at, I'm going to have a wall here. I'm going to have my big cooler, that one right there. I'm going to have that right in here on a tray, slide out tray. probably a couple more drawers right in there, and then the other sink, the outside sink, is going to be in this corner here. And then I still have to figure out where to put the water pump. I have like nowhere to put the water pump. So I probably might even put it on this back wall here. But I don't know if I want to have electrical and solar controller here and then a water pump over there. I don't know if I want to do that. But we'll see where I can fit it in. But currently that's the plan. We ended up with the batteries stacking. So there's one battery here and there's a battery tray here, which is going to stick past the top of the counter. So we're going to build a column in the corner, and I'll probably have another column in the other corner to match. And it's been piecemealing it together because I didn't know what I wanted to do. So like I had a piece here that I glued and screwed down. I should have not done that. I should have waited until I had my plan figured out and then threw that away and gotten a board full length. But you know, I've got little piece here and a little piece here and a piece here and a piece here. Just piecing it together, trying to figure out what I'm doing and how I'm gonna do it. Like originally here, I wanted a flat counter all the way back. And now I'm like, no, we're gonna have to just to get this area tall enough for storage to get the table in and out and all that. So I don't have to like do it sideways and angled. The counter needs to come here, needs to go up higher than this too. I was trying to have it all at the same height, but to get the cooler in there or a fridge someday, this counter is going to have to be higher about 2 inches, and then it needs to come over here. It needs to come up about probably another 4 or 5, maybe 6, and then go across. And then of course we'll do some kind of cabinetry in here. And of course the roof line is going to be like, you know, to here, and then it'll just straight down to the edge here. Trying to match kind of that design here of this line here. Dunk dunk. And I figured out trigonometrically how I'm gonna get my number for my radius to make my circle for the back. Basically this angle has to equal that angle, so whatever this angle is here, because I know this distance here to here and I know here to here, so once I calculate this, I should know this angle, which should be the same as this angle, which that gives me this whole triangle here. Because if I know this length and I know this angle, I should know these. That'll give me the radius for my arc. So once I know that, I can put a piece of plywood out on the driveway, get my string as my radius, and just draw a curve off that string. And once I have that, I can make that as a template, and then I can get my foam board, get my sidewalls in. That will probably be a couple weeks from now, but I need to get that in so that I know where my cabinet heights are going to be, because I need to have some cabinets on this side for some uppers. I want to have some uppers here, and then of course I'm going to have cabinets on this side for all kinds of storage. So I need to get the foam, I need to get the templates so that I can understand how much room I have, where I'm going to put everything. Obviously there's going to be one big door here, but I might have another one right here. And then of course on this side I'm going to have one big access door to get to all this right in here. The diesel pump, diesel fuel, I'm going to have a water fill behind the door. I'm going to have to ventilate the door. I'm going to have to take the exhaust air from here and get it out of here somewhere, either straight out this way or straight out this way. So I might have a vent here, but then, okay, where's my pump going to go? So blah, 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 blah. I need to get all this figured out. So we will be doing that. So the only thing left is everything. So hope you enjoyed that. Talk to you later, guys.